Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Chanel, and in this video, I will be talking to you about the 3 life lessons that I learned in 2023. Hopefully, you can take away some key points, learn from it. If you have any comments or suggestions for me, comment down below. And I have one request for you guys. I've noticed that a lot of my videos have been getting a lot of views, but nobody's subscribing. If you love the content here, please hit the notification bell, subscribe. That really helps me push out my videos to other people. I'm really trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by February 14th, so help me out. If you're new here, I'm Iman. I'm 36 years old. I am divorced. I have 2 kids. I'm a single parent. So December the 31st, 2022, I decided, well, actually before that, I decided that living in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, wasn't really working. I wasn't able to follow my dreams and provide for my kids. I'm divorced. I'm a single mom. And a lot of things led up to my decision to move to South Carolina. I lost my car. I felt like I just was losing everything. Like, honestly, I don't even know how I got through that time. I felt like I was losing everything. So I made a decision to move back to South Carolina. And that brings me to my first life lesson. How to let go. I think mentally I was telling myself it's going to be better. It's going to be this. But also deep down, I felt like a loser. I felt like I let my kids down. I felt like I let myself down because we all have this thing built up in our heads of the person who we want to be. And I felt like I was living that life in North Carolina, and for me to have to step back and leave it was very, very hard. I don't think I realized at the time, but I was clinically depressed. Like, I moved down to South Carolina and I cried every day. I'm about to cry now. I don't want to cry on camera. I cried every day. Like, if you ever been through a divorce or anything like that, that is a very traumatic period. Like, you're burying a relationship, and you're also redefining who you are as a person, because so much of me was tied up into my family life and being that person. And I felt like my facade fell down December 31st, 2022, because I was trying to keep it together for so long, and it was like slowly falling apart, but it was still falling apart, and I just didn't know how to let it go. And me moving to South Carolina felt like I was taking 30 steps backwards. I felt so ashamed. Like, I don't even know if people understand. I'm a woman of pride. I felt like when we moved, me and my ex-husband moved to North Carolina, we really worked hard to get the life that we wanted. And we got there, I would say, in a relatively short time. So to be able to build yourself up only to like get knocked so far down, I was like, God forsaken me. Like, I didn't know how to process that. And for the first time in my life, I was clinically depressed. Like, I don't even think people around me, like, I was clinically depressed. I don't know how I got through that time. I really don't. I cried. Like I said, I used to go to work crying, come home crying. Like, my son would be like, "Are you really okay?" And I'm like, yeah. Wiping tears out my eyes, because I feel like I let them down the most, because you have this idea in your head of what you want your life to be like and what you want your kids' life to be like. And you try to stop them from going through the things that you went through as a child. And I'm a child of a broken home, and I didn't want my kids to go through that. So for them to lose their house, my car, and everything they knew, their friends, we built a life in North Carolina. And for me to walk away, I was somewhat okay with that. But for them, and to see how hard they had took it, that was really like hurtful for me. So I really had to step back. I got therapy. Like, y'all, my makeup is like gonna be ruined after this. Okay, we're not gonna cry no more. I'm not gonna cry no more. Okay, let me wipe my face off and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, for them to lose everything, I wasn't okay with that. I wasn't okay with them having to take like 30 steps back from the life they knew. I really had to go and get help. Like, I really had to go get in therapy. And I thought I was a strong person. You really think you're a strong person until God tests how strong you are. And I'm not one of them people that like openly tell my business. Like, I'm a Scorpio. I don't tell none of my, I mean, it's just not in me to be around people and to just sit and spill my guts about, like, I feel like that's complaining, so I don't really do it. And to keep those in and like try to act like you're okay on the outside was like really tearing me apart. When I start going through things, I get very, very quiet. I don't like to be around people. I want to deal with it myself and come back better. I don't like to burden people with what I'm going through. So that was another thing. I was like isolating myself from all my family and friends, and I really was trying to process what was going on in my life and why. Because I'm one of them people that is a firm believer of like, we are products. Like, our lives are products of what we do. So I'm trying to figure out why it turned out like this, guy. Like, why me? Why am I going through this? So the first lesson is learning how to let go. Because sometimes you just have to be okay with what I had to come to the point like this is my life right now. This is where I'm at right now. I can't dwell on what happened, what should have happened, what I should have did. Like, so I have to just look at it and find the beauty in the things that I was overlooking, because I was just looking at the things that I lost. So I'm closer to my nieces and my nephews. My kids get to see my sisters and brothers every day. You know, I'm living by the beach. It's just try to find the small things to make me grateful and not turn into bitterness or, you know, very remorseful. Like, you have to take those in stride. So I had to learn how to take those in stride, because I was really like crying every day, wake up, face swole, lips swole. Like, I was a mess at the beginning of the year. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, so to anybody who's going through a transition and have to downsize, move, or like something in your world just turn upside down, breathe. Like, just breathe, because it will get better. It will, but you will have to go through it. It's no magic pill that is gonna like save you from the pain. It's nothing like that. I wish it was, because trust me, I would have saved myself. But I think I'm gonna stop crying. I think that walking away freed me, because when I was in North Carolina, I was so worried about keeping up everything that I worked so hard for, that I wasn't allowing God to be God. Like, I was working my ass off and still trying to have a love life, still trying to be with my kids, still trying to make stuff work out for me. And it was all me doing it. I wasn't allowing God room to be God. Like, and sometimes he stripped things away to give you something better, because me trying to hold on to things, like material things, my house, my car, you know, like trying to keep up appearances and stuff like that, it was really stressful. Like, I went from a 2-person income to a 1-person income, and a 2-person household to a one-parent household, and my kids directly suffered from that. So it would have been selfish of me to stay in North Carolina. It would be like very selfish. Even though my kids wanted to stay too, it would have been selfish, because I wouldn't have been able to provide for them in so many other ways. So I had to take a step back. I moved to South Carolina, and the plan was to start real estate, because being a single mom, I need a way to make money, and I need to make money, like, I'm not gonna say fast, because this is definitely not a fast business, but to be able to determine my worth. So that's why letting go was like the hardest part. But when I finally grasped it, when I finally was like, I don't care what people think, I don't care how people feel, you know, I'm just gonna be I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got. And that's how I got through that. So one of the biggest lessons for me in 2023 was letting go. And I'm still having trouble with that, but it's getting better. All right, so y'all got me already crying, okay? I'm trying to keep it cute. All right, so my second life lesson is trusting myself. Like, I'm a very confident woman. Like, as a kid, I was a confident kid, and sometimes it comes off as cocky if you're not confident in yourself, if you don't have that in yourself. So I didn't know I wasn't trusting myself. That's what I'm trying to get at. after my divorce, I started second guessing everything in my life, like friendships, situationships. I was second guessing the color shirt I was gonna wear. I was just like so confused at what was going on in my life, like, and I was really hard for me to make decisions. Like, I was very indecisive, very, and until I moved to South Carolina, I really didn't realize that I was that indecisive. So a lot of things happened here when I got here. Like, the car that I had blew up, so I had to start trusting myself again. Like, okay, I mean, you could go out and buy a car because you need it, and then trust that you're going to be able to keep it and maintain it without a husband, without a man. You're going to be able to do it by yourself. I think that was the biggest lesson coming from being married or being in a relationship all of my adult life. Like, I was in a relationship since the age of 16 with the same man. So I think we separated when I was 31, 32. I was in a relationship for all those years, and I didn't know what it was like to like fully do stuff. I always been an independent person, don't get me wrong on that, but you always have somebody there. So like, trusting myself that I could do it on my own without second guessing myself. So it would take me too long to make decisions, and I would find myself trying to ask everybody else what I should do instead of asking Iman, when deep down I even know what Iman need to do, you know. So that's another takeaway. 2023 is trusting myself. Once I started trusting myself, I started making decisions like, okay, this job is no longer fulfilling. It doesn't make sense for me to go to work, be stressed out, come home. This is literally like my first half of 2023. Go to work, stressed out, come home, go to sleep, wake up, take my kids to school, come home, and it repeats. I had no time for real estate. I'm not going to say I wasted, because I learned lessons, but so many months in that cycle, like just like a robot, I couldn't do it. Like, okay, if I'm going to come down here and I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to sacrifice. So I gave up my job. I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I decided at that moment that I was going to go and do real estate full time. And I'm laughing because I didn't know what that entailed. Like, to this day, like, baby, you should have just did it part time. That's what I'm saying to myself. But with me, it's either all or nothing. I'm not a sit on the side of the fence type of person. I can't ride the middle. So I went and took my realtor test down here because I had to get my South Carolina state license, and I passed. And it took me like a month or two to finally get the balls to say I'm giving up this job, because what had happened, I had started swelling up at work, and I took a leave of absence, and I still had that I could go back to work anytime I want to in the back of my mindset. So it wasn't making me like driving me to do real estate. So I got rid of that comfort. I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I joined the Floyd agency. And from that day forward, it's been a roller coaster. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Some days I'm like, I should go back to work. What are you doing? I mean, you're a mom. You have to provide for your kids. You're their only parent right now. Like, you're the only parent that's giving finances or anything. So a part of me still says go back to work. A part of me says you're doing the right thing. It's gonna work out. Like, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust the process. It's not gonna happen overnight. So just trusting that the vision that God gave me, He gave it to me for a reason. And even if nobody else can see it at the moment, and nobody else supports it, that God supports me and I support me. I was not intending on crying this much. Like, I wasn't intending on crying at all, y'all, but here we are, okay? Okay. Yeah, so, like, I had to learn how to stand on my own, too, with no support, with little support, or whatever I got. Like, the only person that I need to be in counsel with is God. Like, nobody else should be in that much control of my life. So I made a decision. I took the actions. I resigned, and it got scary for a minute. It got really scary. And Right now, January to what today is, the 17th, 18th, it's still scary. Not even gonna lie, but every day it gets better because I know that I'm doing everything I can to be the best. To be the best person, to be the best realtor. Like, I'm gonna fight for my clients, period. Yeah, so it just took a lot. I had to trust in myself. I had to have blind faith in myself. Like, I trust in God, but I needed to trust in myself the same way I trusted in God, because y'all really got me up here crying. Okay. All right. So yeah, I had to trust in myself. The scriptures say I can do all things through Christ, not God. Like, you have to believe in you. And I think 2023 was the beginning of me finding myself again. Like, I say that all the time, but like, no, really, I had to really trust in the vision I had for myself, where God gave me, and to stand on that. Even when people question it, like, what are you doing? Like, I still had to stand strong and block the noise out, because I know that with great sacrifice come great reward, and I'm gonna be back on top. So my face is better now. Okay. My last life lesson of 23 was to set boundaries. Like, this point blank period. Like, you have to protect you. And if you don't have boundaries, then you're not doing any justice to anybody, not even yourself at that point. So I had to learn how to say no with my chest. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And no explanations. Also set boundaries with myself. Like, I think as women, we get so used to giving, and when you feel like you're giving and not getting anything back in return, it's okay to say that I feel like this, and you not having to feel bad that you feel like that. The biggest lesson in 2023 was, I mean, you need boundaries. You need boundaries. Like, I like draw the line out, and this is what it is. You set the tone of how people treat you. I remember this quote. It says, and I always say this to my kids: what you let slide, be careful what you let slide, because you're teaching people how to treat you. And you standing up for yourself, call me a bitch, call me whatever, but you're gonna know that that was inappropriate. I do not like it, and you're not gonna be able to do that to me again. So I learned that I could be fair. And I don't want to say nice, because as a woman, people take us being nice as being quiet and let people get over us. I could be fair, because me being nice is not me being fair to myself. So I had to learn how to, like, basically stand up for myself all over again. But it's a short video. Those were all the things I learned. Not all of them, but some of them. I would come back with a more extensive 2023 breakdown analysis of the year. But for right now, that's all I'm cool with sharing. So if you liked it, if you watched the video in its entirety, please comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, click the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel so much. I would really love it if you become a part of this journey to see me actually like somebody who lost it all. I don't lost it all. Come back and get it out the mud. So leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Welcome to the family. And I'll see y'all in the next video.